What's up, Rockstars? Today, FedEx has given me something I've been waiting for a long time. I've shown this off on the channel quite a bit. Now, you guys already know what it is because I put it right there in the thumbnail. There's no clickbait here. Instead, you get exactly what you're about to see, and I'm excited to see it too. So let's get straight to it. Thank you to my channel sponsor Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. Now, while I open this up, as always, a huge shout out and thanks to my patrons and YouTube members. It is through their financial support that this channel is possible. This is a very community-driven channel, so I make all of my videos for you guys and not for any company, not for any game company or anything like that. Not even for me. It's for you guys. You are the sole audience I'm intending to deliver a product to. That is my videos. So if you appreciate that level of community-driven focus, there is a link down to obviously that below. Additionally, I'm running a fundraiser where I'm giving away a ton of games, a lot. And I mean, there's like a Harakiri all-in there. There is some Primal, The Awakening. There's a ton of really awesome games up for grabs, plus some really cool prototypes that I've come across over the years since last time. You can check that out as well and help support the channel, help support my initiative in 2022. I did over 170 videos this year, guys, and every single one of those were for you. So hopefully you benefited from it, whether that was you found a product you didn't know about that looks really cool and I turned you on to that, or maybe I even saved you a buck. Either way, hopefully I've helped you, regardless of anything. Now, let's go ahead and open this up. I'm excited. I am excited. I have been waiting for this for a while. Okay. Here is a note. I'm not going to go ahead and read this. If it makes sense, I'm going to do a top-down view, of course, right after I'm done pulling everything out of the box. If it makes sense, I'll show that off to you. But it's normally just instructions for the person reviewing it. Okay, so we got... I love prototypes. I really do. They're all so unique. They're all so different. So in here, we got Elite Minis. I dig it. I see boxes like that, I want to get some Magic cards. I used to store them and stuff like that all the time. Okay, and then I was never a binder guy. Like I was like for like Pokemon, like when I was a kid. But since then, regular minis, not Elite. And way down here, we got the game itself, Earth Under Siege Flashpoint. Really excited for this. I saw a Facebook ad for this, like a sponsored ad, which is ironic. It's like, okay, I mean, I appreciate it, but I already knew about it, obviously. Looked really cool. That was a legit ad, so you guys, I don't know who made it, what company did, maybe you guys did. Anyway, good job. It was a pretty good Facebook ad. It was like legit. There was like people moving around and shooting, and that's what I hope to do in this game too. So let's go ahead and swap to the top-down view and take a look at this in detail. Much more than a prototype probably should, but it's what we do here. All right, let's go and go. All right, so as I'm taking this wrapping off, I just want to say, Steve, you scare me. So that little white paper, right? Twice it mentioned how long of a rule book this has. You know how to torture a guy. I hate rule books, guys. I really do. And I don't mean that in like a... I don't know. I don't know what I don't mean that as. I kind of mean it as every way I actually said it. I think rule books are probably the worst thing in this entire hobby that you have to deal with. And the number one thing I think that actually holds a lot of people back from it. But it is what it is, and I just have to deal with it. And a lot of times it's worth it. Hopefully Earth Under Siege Flashpoint is worth it. All right, and obviously everything's prototype, including that rule book. So especially, actually, the links sometimes can be deceiving on prototypes. I wanted to mention this. I don't know if I ever have, but because it doesn't have the formatting it does, often it's just in like a Word document. And when it's like that, it can be like 67 pages, but like 20 of those are just images, right? And then there's even more. Like, this is not laid out the same. Right, so I'm going to dare to flip this over, because it looks like they have the back all done as well, which is pretty darn cool. All right. Earth is under attack. Oh no. Well, what will we do about that? Attack people. That's how. So we got some regular sized people and then some larger people as well. 1 to 4 players, 60 to 90, 14 plus, Dark Horizon Games. I will say, I really like the big light there. However, it really covers up the A. And the purple on black, at least in this form, not the most easily read. You could read it from here, but from far away, I definitely could not. I would just see the dark, and I do see dark there. Just saying. Just saying. All right. So anyway, got lots of exclamation points, which is good. Nice and excited about your product. That's a good thing to have. All right. Let's go ahead and it's got kind of a weird sticky kind of feel to it. I think my hands are sticky. Well, it's not yet. All right. And, oh no. All right, here, I'll fix this for you. Don't worry about it. So, when you give me a box, if you could, not that anybody's going to care enough to actually do this, do that. There we go. There we go. So now, gosh, I haven't even opened the box, guys. I don't know how you deal with me. There you go. Look at that. Oh, so much better. It's the little things. All right, let's go ahead and go. All right, I like the differences here. So this guy's coming in. He's got a blade. He's ready to go, right? We got this guy here actively shooting at him, right? So he's like, I mean, he's dead now. So that's good. This guy's got tape. He's gonna tie him up. And then this chick's over here, like, calling the police. Like, somebody else deal with this, please. Or she's pressing the nuke button. I don't know. But, like, these two guys are taking care of business. And this guy's got tape. He's, like, actually trying to tape this guy up. The poor medic. That cracks me up. That's awesome. I never noticed that. Okay, all right, what do we got here? We got a nice felt pack. I like it. I don't know a lot of the mechanics of this. Like, I know overall the structure of the game. I'm going to talk, I have a minute on my hand. But I don't know if you're ever drawing stuff out or if this is just a fancy thing for dice. I'll let you guys know, of course. All right, then we got some player boards here. They are front and back. And it looks like they're different. Yeah. So here we have Olivia Mad Doc Moss, the science officer. Anytime your science officer is named Mad Doc, hire a new science officer. There's bound to be more available. Get some fresh intern, some resident. I don't care. As long as their nickname isn't Mad Doc. Okay, so we got armor, we got sciencey stuff, we got 2 hands, as normal people do. We got 3 belts, which is awesome. We got another, looks like this is backpack, and that's armor. There we go. Then we got some probably accuracy and defense. Maybe this is attack and defense, and then sciencey stuff, and then probably how easily they're like aware or seen or something like that. And they have a starting focus to science or something like that. Negative conditions, available, exhausted, and a little like SOCOM dude. And then on this other side, we have squad member attached, and now we have a different ability here. I suspect, this is just me hazarding a guess, looking like an idiot when I'm wrong. If you're not playing with 4 people, you play the other people with their squad member side, where they have kind of a basic thing here, like fight fire with fire, attacks with us. I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Maybe they become part of your squad, and then that levels them up. But okay, so we got this chick, and that's the lady calling for help. Then we got this chick here who I think... So I thought maybe, I think this is her. The cheeks there throw me off. I felt like it was a guy there with the really defined cheeks, but maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, this is Marissa. Much more attack, much more defense. She doesn't know science at all. She doesn't believe in science. So she's just... Okay. I like it. They got some personality. Here we got Kyle Trickshot Moss. See, I'm fine with Trickshot. The Trickshot has, like, I guess a pistol, but most of his shots are probably through melee. They're super aware. He knows. He also does not believe in science. And then there's Billy No Mates. Aw. But luckily, No Mates can still be a squad member. He can find his mates. And again, oh man, he's like all freaking attack. Look at that freaking sniper dude. This will probably be my character here. I love snipers. Just hanging out in back with the range, sniping everybody. Single person DPS, that's what I'm all about. Glass cannon those suckers. All right, so that's the, you know, I will say I like the fact that they're hanging out like over, you know, like way outside their little frame there. That's quite nice. And the background here is nice too. I like that it's all one thing, so they're not like separate, which is kind of cool. I dig that. It looks like there's definitely spots for cards. So yeah, it's kind of cool. One thing I will say is if they ever do want to do a dual layer board on this, I don't know if they ever want to, but if they did want to, having the art go into the little pockets can be a little difficult. It can be done. It's just you got to be careful that it doesn't look like it jumps right with the image. Like it looks like it needs to be looking good right there, especially something like a player board, because you're going to see that all the time. All right, now we have the escalation track here. We have a spawn pool. We got threat levels 1 through 4. Here's my pokey stick, so I'm not poking with my finger anymore. We got the investigation tokens here. It looks like we got 2 yellows, a red, and then all systems alert. Okay, so when you hit a yellow, you add a patrol to the spawn pool. When you hit a red, you add an elite patrol to the spawn pool. And then right after that, you're triggering an alarm. So the alarm gets off right after an elite patrol gets off the board. Not good. And then we have the Team Valor pool here. And that is one-sided. All right, not to be outdone, here's the bigger one here. Okay, here is a base record sheet. Okay, this is kind of cool. Max tactics cards and base division level. We already have some marked here. Medbay level 1, 5+ remove 1 wound or gain 1. This is kind of interesting. So it looks like you have a base that you're you have a tactical command, a medbay, training grounds, armory, psi lab, and weapons lab. These 2 are off limits or locked at the start, and you have 4 levels of every single one of those, and they give you different things. It looks like just kind of upgrades to existing stuff, and maybe nothing necessarily unique, though perhaps these unlocks kind of do. And that is, again, one-sided as well. It's probably for the campaign. Speaking of which, here's a mini campaign book. I appreciate that it's in color. That's obviously kind of nice. It's actually kind of glossy, which I also appreciate. That's also quite nice. Looks like we got good layouts here. I do like that it's in color. That's actually kind of nice. I dig it. And it's actually kind of formatted. Good job on this. We got the colors and stuff like that. This kind of bolding and coloration and stuff, always really helpful. Really appreciative of that. So there are the missions I'll be playing before I review it for you guys. Next up, we have 2 player aids. These are quite large, and there is quite a bit of space. So they could definitely, I think, scrunch this up a little bit, and in fact, make it smaller as well when it comes to even the font, but just the overall spacing and everything like that. It could just be scrunched up. You could easily probably, you know, fit it just in here with spacing and kind of padding and not even fuss too much about it, which gets rid of a good, 20% off every edge, which is, I think, pretty good. I think you could do that. I think you could. This could probably actually be on the bottom. I bet with the attack and the actions here, with the miscellaneous, I don't know if you want to, I don't know. It'd be nice if this was like this, right? Where the negative conditions were down here. Just because there's so much space here. I bet there's a way to kind of make that smaller as well, perhaps. This is kind of your longest, your MISC obviously is your longest group there. So, but either way, I appreciate that. Looks like we've got some symbology, but not a whole lot. I'm not seeing anything unique or new here, except perhaps... yeah, maybe over here. Are these different? These are different. Okay, so actually you need both of these. Oh yeah, well we definitely want to make this a bit smaller then. I would say. So we do have these kind of these symbols here, and then these symbols here, and these symbols here. I'm assuming dice are pretty obvious. Sound is pretty obvious. I have no idea what the freaking saw blade is. That's pretty cool though. I dig that. I like saw blades. So yeah, some symbology, and over here again, quite a bit of space. I think we could probably tighten things up a little bit. Ideally, I don't have this on the table. That's Too much. Too much. There's a lot of player aids, though. Ideally, you don't need the player aids, though, right? Ideally, they're just there for the first, 2 missions, and then you're kind of used to it. Okay. Now we got a quick start guide with a huge stop. So I'm going to stop right there. Before reading the rulebook or the campaign book, sort your components and use this quick start guide to familiarize. I do this anyway. I don't know. You guys let me know if I'm the only one that does this. I get all the components out and set it up, and then I read the rulebook with the game right next to me. So I'm constantly going back and actually referencing what each of the cards are. For whatever reason, seeing it physically, like literally right over there to me while I'm reading, helps me out a lot. I'll read about the cards and then I'll pick them up and kind of look at them and stuff like that. A lot more than just reading about it in the rulebook and then going into the box before even seeing that. It really helps me out. I don't know why, but it's how I have found myself doing it. Components you'll need. I dig this, telling me up front. It's kind of a Solomon Kane, Joan of Arc vibe there for me when it comes to telling me, okay, hey, you need this to play the game. Setting up your first game. That looks exciting. Stop again. I'm not stopping. There's no stopping me. It looks like a lot of examples in here, which is kind of nice. And it's nice and spacey too. This will be a quick read, but it looks like actually pretty big font. Which I so I've been reading the Madara rulebook, and that's an I think 9-point font. So I actually kind of dig the big font. Okay. And then here is the rulebook proper. It is in a spiral bound, at least here in the prototype. Full color. They actually have some design and stuff like that here. And then again, when you do stuff like this, like it looks nice, it flows well, but you do get that's space that could have been used for something perhaps, right? Just depends on kind of how it is. Maybe it was empty space and needed to be empty space and just put a guy there. That's fine too. I like a lot of the color. We got a lot of symbols here. Oh, look at him. He's now sniping. He was busy doing this before. We got some arrows, so kind of step-by-step guides and stuff like that. Again, more lines showing where everything is, more arrows. I dig it. This is nice. Let's go into the back. Take a look, see if there's an index. That's important. Friendly fire. Oh my gosh. Teammates are going to kill me. If I die, it's my teammates' fault. Even more so now. All right. Now. Oh, what do we got here? Index. Okay. So it is in alphabetical order, and it doesn't look like it follows any headings, which I like. I'm not seeing multiple page counts, though. So I guess what that means is accuracy only ever mentioned on page 49 and nowhere else in this book? That would kind of surprise me. Or is damage only mentioned on page 34? So this is close. This is, I mean, you're almost there. And it is certainly helpful to have it like this. So if I'm looking up something, I can find it. But ideally, an index tells me every page it's listed on. Just so I know I've read everything. Like sometimes you'll read a little blurb, but then there's another thing that, oh, well, I didn't even think about that. It's nice to know I've read every little bit about it. So I love this. Keep it in the back in alphabetical order, just like this. This looks great. I really dig that. I even like the fact that these are negative conditions. These are operatives. These are anatomies, stuff like that. Really helpful. But probably I'm assuming damage is mentioned more than on one page, and if it is, I would like all of those pages listed here. So that is that. Typically, that's within reason. In other words, anytime you're talking about damage as a rule, whether it's getting damage, taking damage, delivering damage, wounds, all that kind of stuff, right? If you just say the word damage, it doesn't need to be there. So be careful if you're using an automated system to not be ridiculous with listing stuff. I'm so glad these are all listed. That helps me so much, especially when it comes to packing things up. I tend to be lazy. Like if I were to pack things up and this weren't listed, I would put all these in here. I 100% would just have a giant baggie full of things, and I would deal with it later. So we got some objective tokens. Nice. I really like the coloration. Black and red are obviously good, but then with the white on there too, and just very easily read. I like that. That looks great. Okay, so then we got some Valor tokens. I have no idea what Valor tokens are. It looks like there's a few different things. Perhaps, yeah, I have no idea. A lot of Valor tokens, though. Then we got some armor, barricade, and damage wound tokens. The next token I get out, I'm going to go ahead and take a look. There's some patrols. Let's go ahead and open it up. Let's take a look at the edge of this, see what the cardboard's like right now. Again, of course, prototype, but it doesn't hurt to look, see where they're at right now, see what kind of prototype they're able to produce. always helpful. This looks nice, by the way, guys. So I will say, no give. Even like pushing on it, there's not a lot of there's not really a lot of give there. So looking at the edge here, it looks a little dark, like it's kind of dirty, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if this has been played previously. There is a little bit of layer lines, but not too much. You can see where the tags were as well. I don't see any fraying really around anything. It looks nice and clean on both sides. Again, you can't see the tags and stuff like that, but overall, this looks quite nice. Good thickness. Happy with that. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We got doors. These are small doors. All right, I can take that. It looks like that. There's a wall, and then in and out, kind of almost looks like it's at an angle, right? Okay, that works. So many tokens. Okay, we got some focus tokens. Again, focus of different kinds. Looks like movement, science, defense, and attack. Assuming those are what it is I'm looking at. Enemy Overwatch. Overwatch. Good thing there's only 3 of these tokens. Overwatch is fun. I dig it. I like that because it gives you that sense of like, you know, I'm hiding behind the wall, but I need to like run across something like that. 6 Siege did that really well. Really enjoyed it there. Blips. Okay. I mean, this is screaming XCOM to me right now. This is and I love that. That's great. Negative conditions. Aw, sad day. It looks like they have some fairly consistent theming here. Like this has just a tiny bit of red, but it's mostly black and white. Which is kind of cool. Looks like there's one wound token that may have... Oh, okay, no, looks like there's 2 sides to some of them, and the other side is red. But I'm liking the consistent UI there. That looks different than the other tokens, which is nice. That being said, a lot of these are very colorful. MISC player tokens, some support. Somebody's going to be high rank. Someone's going to have some honey. Is what it is. Okay, we got a technician card. I'm going to set him to the side. He's a cool size. I'll definitely look at the different sizes of cards. It looks like this is all the same though, so that's good. Here's Armory. Armory tokens. Let's go and take a look at some of our armor possibilities. All right, so we'll say right now, fairly skinny, but not bad. I've gotten games delivered with skinnier, flimsier ones, and these are pretty rigid, which is nice. Looks like they're facing 2 different ways. I'll keep it that way. Probably two-handed. Let me go in and zoom in a little bit. Now we're getting a little close here. And make it not quite so bright. All right, so let's see here. So we got two-handed, Inferno rifle. Oh, okay, we got a whole bunch of nicknames on the guns too. Ranged weapon, assuming levels, level 1 and level 2. There's probably 3 and 4 in here. AoE ranged attack, spray, and then I don't know what all these symbols necessarily mean. Range, obviously, damage, noise value. Special, make a noise 2 check in each zone when any non-robotic enemies were hit by this attack. Interesting is non-robotic. Light sniper rifle, a shotgun. We're missing some art. Again, prototype. They just opted to leave it without the art there entirely, which is fine. Pitbull assault rifle, tactical combat armor. So it gives you 2 extra dice to roll defense on, and some other stuff. Custom grip. This is an upgrade to a weapon. Upgrade any ranged weapon. That's cool. Recoil suppressor, same thing. And then a thermal scope, same thing. I like the upgrades. Looking at the better ones. Come on. Let's go. All right, come on. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. Whew! Got it. All right, one-handed here. A Vormacht Blaster ranged weapon. Got that going on here. A phase blade. Heck freaking yeah. It looks like a big blade. A phased flechette, whatever. The communicator, a utility item, goes on your belt. We got an agony cudgel, plasma burst rifle, stalker rifle, enhanced energy cell ammo. So we got ammo and we got upgrades. We got utilities, black hole grenades. Dear God, don't give those to anyone. Whew. Man, hope you can have a good arm to throw that far away. It's able to get out of hand. Oh, I cannot open these cards. Whew. All right. I got it. Okay, note to self. Don't set those down. Watch me immediately break that rule. Okay, then we got some spawn cards here. Let's go and take a look at them. It's probably quicker than what we just did, actually. Looks like spawn cards and more spawn cards. So we got green and red. So here's kind of the... Looks like we got different levels here. Different spawn events that happen. So you're not just putting an enemy on there. It'll be interesting to see how involved the spawn... phase is, or the mechanic there. If we're having special events each time, if those go quick, and then it looks like we have one where we roll to see what happens. That's kind of neat. Just to see, does it bog down? Does it play well? Does it keep going? Is that some involved thing that you want to have involved, or is it not? I don't know. So these are also level 1, 2, and 3, but they're the red versus green. They seem to have a different faction almost. But maybe not quite so much. These just look more technological to me, anyway. But what the heck do I know? You don't have to answer that. That was a rhetorical question. In fact, you probably shouldn't answer that. I would probably just feel bad. Okay. Let's see here. We got Marissa. I'm only going to look at one of them. Let's see. We got Billy, Kyle, and Olivia. Let's go and do Olivia. It reminds me of the TV show my daughters used to watch. You know what I'm talking about? Olivia. It's like the whole song was made just by her name. So we got some special tokens just for her. And a little small card. That's probably her equipment. No time to bleed. I ain't got time to bleed. That's a Predator quote, isn't it? Okay, so this feels even skinnier. That being said, nice and kind of glossy, and the cut is actually quite good. It's not like really rough around the edges, which is nice. And they seem pretty consistent too. Again, that purple on blue, we got to be careful around that. I am a little bit colorblind. I can see that that's purple and blue, so everybody can calm down. I don't see black and white, but sometimes some shades can look pretty darn close. The green shows up really well. The white shows up really well. The purple does show up, but not as well, I feel. So just something to keep in mind there. Definitely mostly black with some bright Tron lines. Duck and cover, right in the face. Knowledge is power. I'm not just a scientist. Let me make some calculations. Your math is off. Wait, am I supposed to cut the green wire? Oh no. Second wind. Yeah, it's called science. Look, a shiny. Okay, so this is a little goofy. I can appreciate that. Set for stun. Set phasers to stun. Let me make some calculations again. Okay, all right. Knowledge is power. Cool. I dig it. I like it. This is probably about as wordy as it gets there. And they also had, I thought, maybe not. I thought they had a roll one. Imagining things. Could be. All right. Imagine everybody else has their own set of cards. So that's cool that they're all unique like that. Let me just double check real quick. Oh, no, see, I see a duck and cover already from there. So without going, let's take a look. Obviously, all those science ones are not going to be the same. So maybe there's a set of common ones. And maybe the duck and cover is different. Let me reopen this because I'm curious now. Okay, so duck and cover. Okay, so they do have their names on the bottom, but they are the exact same card. So there we go. But Marissa here has duck and cover. Watch your 6 right in the face. Oh, I thought that was a unique one. That's not unique. Everybody gets it right in the face. The best defense. Eat this. No time to bleed. Again, same thing there. Watch your 6 right in the face. Heavy fire, lock and load. Second wind again. Move. Heavy fire, the best defense. Eat this. Steady hand. Suppressing fire, lock and load. And wait. There's someone coming. I think that was one of them as well. So, it's, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I guess I'll have to let you guys know in the review how much is the same versus how much is different. And the key that I always try to tell you guys is if different characters feel different. In other words, does the character you pick really actually matter? And that's a good tell to see if everybody's doing the exact same generic actions, just with a different coat of paint, or if they have other actual... mechanics all to their own, or feels all to their own. Okay, other map tokens, just little doodads and thingamajigs. We got a campaign upgrade. Cool. I'm actively not going to look at that, actually, until I need to. Strategy and gear. Okay. All right, let's look at the strategy. I'm not too concerned about the gear. But I remember being told about this. So we got Espionage 1, Black Ops 1, and Breach and Clear 1. So these are like the different, I believe, missions you can kind of go about. Like you can either do it through Espionage, and looks like there's a front and back Black Ops, or Breach and Clear. So you got 3 different options there available to you to pick from. I don't know if you'd always have that option. Or if sometimes you only have one or another, or both, or all 3. I don't know. Investigation tokens. Condition tokens. Let's see. We got what? High alert. That's a condition. Interesting. I figured conditions were like bleed. But I guess that's status effects, huh? We got high alert, delayed insertion, ever shifting battlefield. This is an interesting texture on here. Common interference, fortified defenses, unexpected circumstances. These all look pretty unique. Wound cards. That can happen. Bad knee. Oh, I got a bad knee. It was naughty. Alright, let's see what kind of stuff we can get. Bad knee. Swelling of the brain. Hate when that happens. A seeping wound. Lovely. Muscle spasms. Fantastic. Space and time untethered. Dear so you could have a bad... This is the difference between an injury and a trauma. Sojourn of the mind. I don't even know what that is. It sounds bad. Painful premonition and dreading the abyss. So you can have trauma and injuries. I imagine trauma maybe lasts a bit longer and is healed in a different way. My guess. Got some threat cards here. Got some special ops. That's kind of exciting. Looks like armed escorts with some different options compared to just those like, Black Ops and stuff like that. Enemies. All right. Big cards here. I actually really did that. Again, fairly thin, but actually I'm a lot more accepting when they're really tall like this. So when they're small and thin, that I mean, the thinner or it's actually like the smaller the better in that case. But it feels worse because by the time you bend a small card like that, it's going to crease. Whereas this is just kind of floppy. Not too bad. As you can see, it's actually fairly stiff. Okay, so we got Dominator. We do not have a back. Enslaver spawns 1+2 thralls. Interesting. Okay, we got some heavy duty guy, a Reaver, a fire team, some grunts, some drones, war leader, because this is the same guys we just saw in the spawn things, but now they're enemies. I guess looking at this, it looks like there's quite a bit here. I'm assuming this is like their AI or something like that. Got some ranged and some melee, and then their defense here. What kills you makes me stronger. When a thrall in this zone is killed, gain an armor token. Oh, that's something. Looks like they definitely have some unique circumstantial rules, which is kind of interesting. We're almost to tiles now. Look how big these freaking dice are. Are you really making dice this big? If so, props to you, dude. That is some dice. I do see a blank. So we've got white and red, and then these two are probably like noise dice or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. And then the small one here as well. Interesting. But these big ones, my goodness. Those are some big dice. Not to be outdone. It's like those dice were made in Texas or something. All right, we got a freaking buttload of tiles here. Now, the paper said this is actually quite toned down. And in fact, I might even like run out of some tokens or something like that in play. And if that's the case, to just use a proxy, and the main game won't have that issue. So this is quite a bit, but it is not double-sided yet. I don't know if it will be double-sided. If it will, I would expect... don't expect a huge amount of individual tiles because each one counts as 2, right? Okay, we got an enter and an exit right next to each other. I can dig that. Looks like we got like some weapons or something like that. Looks like for the most part, stuff's very lined up. What I mean by that is like on here, it's line on the line on the line on the line, and then mostly on the line. So it's all like you don't find stuff here and here really. It's all very centered, right? And then even when you have it in the center, it's like dead center. Like this is the center of this, and then of course this lines up pretty well as well. Let's see, that's in fact it looks like maybe some of these getting kind of close, but even still you kind of have a frame, right? So here, and here. You have a few little doodads here, but for the most part, it's very boxy. I'm seeing that on just about all of them. They're very, lined up and parallel. I mean, it's good that they're organized, I suppose. I mean, even stuff like this, or like this, or again, it's like, okay, there's going to be a desk right in the middle, right? It's not going to even be like one even on the side facing out, maybe, but it's like right there. It's kind of a weird position, actually, if you think about it, with the back to the wall like that. Anyway, a ton of tiles. I mean, there's a whole bunch of freaking tiles. We got freaking laser beams. If this is Metal Gear Solid, you need to light a cigarette, but it looks like I can see these just fine without smoking, so that's good. I will live another day. All right, and thickness-wise, it's fine. It's actually quite dense, and so nothing to complain about from there at all. All right, and then of course the box itself. Glue job looks pretty darn good, especially for a prototype. Not perfect, but again, prototype. I'll forgive a little bit when it comes to that, especially like, little lines there and stuff like that. They're purposely not made to that robustness. There's no reason to. In fact, it's kind of almost irresponsible to, arguably, to really go at it when it for just a prototype. But we got some minis to look at, and that's how I'm packing that sucker up. So let's look at some minis. Alright, now we're going to start with the regular ones, because of course we are. We're going to save the Elite for later. Oh man, this stuff, it always sticks to itself so well. Okay. I dig the lid. I can appreciate that. Alright, there's that. And there are some minis. They look resin to me. In fact, they might even look 3D printed. I'll have to take a look. But first, let's zoom in and see what we got going on here. Let's take a look at this guy at first, because heck freaking yeah, why not? Look at this guy. Oh my gosh, I love him. He's awesome. Okay, is 3D printed. I can see the little postmarks here actually. So just a note on that. Like, this is super skinny, right? Especially something like this right here. I would not expect that to be there with the hollow point on the final miniature. So just be aware of that. And you'll also see some scuff marks like this. It's from the 3D printing posts. So just an FYI. There is definitely some small detail here, like on the guns, which I love. It looks great. I just worry about the final PVC and how that'll look like. Maybe they're not even doing PVC. I don't know. I don't know anything. You guys let me know. But if they do, then obviously this kind of stuff will need to be thickened a little bit, and this might need to be dumbed down a little bit. This is a lot of small pieces. Same with stuff like little underhangs here. This little skinny bit can work. Actually, it's fine. It's no different than like the end of a knife, right? They can print just fine. So I'm not too concerned about that. Though they'd want to reinforce this or it's going to bend. Yeah, I don't know exactly about that. Otherwise, this looks great. I mean, I love it now. It looks awesome. Let's see, we also got this guy here. Again, I love the style. The fingers look amazing, and this will print just fine. You have a little bit of an indent there, and then a big one here from the finger, and then the thumb clearly there as well. Looks wonderful. Stuff like this, where there's a hole here that's not filled in. Again, something to keep in mind when it comes to the PVC version. Those are harder to do because you need a really good pull direction, which typically you can't get too well. That being said, this gap here looks awesome as well. I love it. The goggles look good. The helmet looks good. The tattered cape here looks awesome. This is a great looking mini, I can tell you that much. This is nice. I like it. The tubes here, again, and just be cautious about stuff like this. It can totally be a thing. This one would probably be attached to this bottom one here. Right now it's not, but it's something I would expect. And so in this looks like it's pretty good, though there is a line there again that would probably need to be filled in, or it just moved slightly to accommodate. All right, let's see what else we got. We just got a whole bunch of those guys. Let's see. Here's another guy in that same kind of army, so you can kind of see him as well. Love the coats, by the way. Kind of interesting. That's okay. No, it's tattered different, though it is on the same side, but it is tattered different for sure. Again, I think the style-wise, they look great. I actually kind of dig the small base. They're filling it up quite well. They got some good boots. Ooh, caught him. Don't worry about it, guys. I got him. The hat looks fantastic. Again, the skinny little brim here. I would expect to be a little thickened up. That being said, it's not sticking out too much, so it's certainly possible. It just kind of depends on the manufacturer and their skill set, and some good old-fashioned tooling, probably. All right, let's see. I think we might have a few more regular guys. We got, what is this? Hello? Who are you? Okay, just another drone. Okay. Well, here's a different guy. Gosh, I'm just going to throw him around. All right, here's this guy. Love the gun. Again, stuff like this. Very skinny. It's a 3D print. The knee pads and the pants and stuff like that look great. Love the style. Same with the gun here. The mask, super cool. It is a little shallow on the sides. And so I think the final PVC, this needs to be exaggerated perhaps a little bit, I would think. Or I don't think it's going to make the transfer very well. This is possible, but you're going to have to definitely keep an eye on that, because this is almost too skinny now, actually. Though it is a little hard to see because of the light plastic. Just as an FYI, the darker the gray, the better you can see the details on the Mini typically. Backpack looks great. All the banding and stuff here looks great. Otherwise, it's good, especially for a guy that's just standing there, right? You always kind of worry that a guy just standing there is going to be a little boring, but I think he looks cool. All right, next we got these guys, which is kind of the same thing, just scrunched up and up high. Again, you'd want to thicken those up. And otherwise, it's pretty much the same thing. Not a whole lot to talk about, except this freaking like shooting flame fire stuff. Awesome. Love it. And I'm glad there's not just some floaty peak thing here. I'm glad that, you know, it's stylized in how it's even put together. I do really appreciate that. Man, look at the tatters on this guy. My goodness. Yeah, again, super skinny, like very skinny. It need to be thickened up a little bit, especially this one here, but probably even that one there as well. This weapon looks freaking awesome. Love the tattered cloths there. And getting the cloth on stuff like this with the armor, very nice, very helpful. I do appreciate that. His mouth looks great. His brows, just this whole expression looks nice. This tube looks really cool, but again, you'd want that probably in ABS or a little bit thicker, one or the other. Some great detail on the gun. This is a cool guy. I dig it. And I know he's just kind of just walking, but I think it's a very purposeful walk, which is kind of interesting. And I also find it interesting that his weapon is farther back and his gun's there. It makes me believe that he'd rather shoot me than punch me. And I wonder if his stats reflect the sculpt design there or not. That's what I'm getting from the sculpt design anyway. Right here is the sniper. And actually quite plain looking of a person. However, the actual sniper gun looks quite good. And that is quite the pose. Like, that looks awesome. I dig that. The connecting piece here you can clearly see, and I don't know if it just wasn't pushed in all the way or if it just is what it is, but you can see the big piece here. I would have rather have this been a very just either sculpted better or pushed in more. It just kind of depends. But they have another gun here. The bottom of the shoe is sculpted but not designed, which is fine, especially because, you know, not all shoes even have that. Try not to judge. All right, here is the Mad Doc herself. This looks fantastic. I really do dig this. Quite skinny though, so you gotta be careful there. I like the wrench and the different injections and stuff like that. Love how she even has a knife on her boot. Everybody is still ready to fight. The glasses are quite interesting. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if that's a piece of hair hanging over, or if that's just a weird thing from the glasses. I'm not sure. And the glasses, by the way, are not flat. They're actually hollow. Very interesting. It'd be interesting to see how that looks like painted. Ponytail looks good. Obviously, the weapon looks good. Quite skinny. Again, you just got to be careful about these skinny pieces, but it depends on, you know, like I said, I mean, you get what you pay for typically with minis. And I'll just leave it at that. Typically, the more expensive is the better. Okay. Fantastic facial expression here. I love that her mouth is open. I think that looks awesome. Super killer. I love that she's holding the grenade. I love that it looks like she just picked the pin out. It looks like her finger broke a little bit. Probably when they took her out of with the posts. That's fine. And I don't know if this is supposed to be there or not. It might just be part of the post. The barrel being drilled out and even the scope having a little inlay looks fantastic. I would only expect that really on the 3D print, but still very cool. I dig that. Oh, okay. Her gun fell off. It's right here. So she should have her gun here by the looks of it, probably like so or something like that. So that's what happened there. I'll glue that on. That's no problem. She's got a big old gun though. I'll put her back there safely. Look at this guy, man. They are getting bigger. Look at this. Look at this freaking gun. That's a gun and a half. Definitely a plasma gun kind of style thing, hooked up to a backpack with a Death Stranding guy there, which I dig. I love it. Let's look for those weird ghost things. Stay out of the time fall. Yeah, again, everybody has a little bit of damage here. There's a belt. It's like buckled in the back, which means somebody else had to buckle them, I would think. I couldn't do that. It looks like he has one kind of monocle thing, maybe an eye patch, hard to tell. The hair sculpted looks nice. Again, fingers look good. All the poses are good. This is, I think, connected quite well. It's connected throughout all these pieces here. So it's really just, and in fact, it's not connected here, I don't think. But this would be a smart point to connect to, because then it's only here, and then here that are the gaps. Everywhere else is technically connected, which I think would go a long way to stabilizing the Mini, especially for manufacturing and development. Man, look at this guy is running. He is like freaking full force, which is awesome to see how he stands. Let's see if he stands okay. Oh, he stands fine. Yeah, he's not falling over. I think it would be a little nice if he was leaning a bit more. As it stands, he's still fairly straight, and so it looks a little bit like he's dancing more than actually lunging. If they even just bent his torso a little bit forward, I think that would help a lot. Now you gotta wonder about the counterweight here, something like that, right? Maybe just starting him farther back. Oh, you can't even see what I'm looking at. Okay, so if you started him farther back and leaned him a little bit more forward, I think you would get a little bit better sense of the movement. I mean, it's still fine, but just as an FYI, you can kind of see where he's at. Design-wise, again, I'm really digging it. He does not have any holes on his cloth, but he does have it in tatters. Armor looks great. Again, the facial expression looks cool. The weapons are super cool. I love these weapons. Those are awesome. As somebody, I did like Terrakasi Master and Star Wars Galaxy, so I had the Vibro blades and all that kind of stuff. So I really dig that style of stuff. Always have. All right, moving on. Okay. Oh, jeez, I'm just gonna break all this stuff. This guy's cool because I like how he has a pistol here. Very, very cool. Backpack looks great, by the way. It looks a lot like the other backpack, which I appreciate that consistency, actually. And again, the mask is cool, too. Otherwise, gun's a little bit more simple. And the barrel is not drilled out like the other one, which is fine. I'm not like going around expecting that, per se. Okay, what else we got here? What else we got? We got another one of him. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, here we got this one here. Here is the Trick Shot, I believe his name was. This is not attached at all. You could probably attach his hand there if you wanted to, but you certainly don't have to. Blade looks good. Again, it has all the posts. That's normal for the 3D print. Same with that right there. Just trimmed up a little bit. Love the gun. This gun looks awesome. Again, a little skinny. I think the blade is perfect. I think that looks great. If you could do that in ABS, it'd be amazing. Just cut it off right there, do his whole arm in that. It'd be totally fine. Another post right there. There we go. The cape being attached in the corner here, I think is really smart. Makes him nice and secure here. And the cape looks great. It's big and flowing. It is not in tatters. His whole kind of trench coat thing is great. I love that his wrap or like part, his tie off part, is flapped back here and is even bent backwards. That looks super cool. Really do dig that. A very interesting pose too, with this like bent while still on his tippy toes and leaning in like that. Very much I'm gonna like roll off my foot to kind of come forward. Good layering, like the shirt underneath. The face looks good. He even has his little, I'm talking to you Bluetooth, from like the 2000s kind of thing. Very cool mini, that one. I really dig that, like a lot. And then finally, in this one, is this bad boy here, and he is quite big and bad. Love the fact that they put some terrain on here. So he's got a little bit of a unique pose. I love that it's included in his pose. That's great. It looks like, yeah, let me get the one that's not broken. How about that? There we go. So they should have a beaten stick they're going to beat you with. Definitely the weak point is right there by the hand. If they moved it to where his thumb ended right there, that would naturally add just a little bit of thickness. But as it stands, his thumb ends here, so there's a tiny bit there. And that's exactly where it broke off, right past the thumb there. You see that? So if they shortened the hold there or made his hand reach out a little bit more to where the thumb went all the way up there, I think that would do a lot of good when it comes to not having as many replacements when they finally deliver it. Of course, this is resin 3D print, so it's quite brittle, especially depending on how much they cured it. I don't know. I didn't cure it. That is it for that. So let's go and look at some Elite Minis, and then we're done. That's it. Nothing to it. Easy peasy. All right, looks like I will need to cut this. Oh, maybe not. It's already cut. Well, it wasn't me. Okay, let's see here. What do we got here? Let's go zoom a little bit just so you're not so blurry. There we go. Okay, a lot of padding in this one. And let's see what we got here. We got freaking, okay, so this is just like, it's not necessarily bigger. They're just elite. They're just extra special. So here's Mr. Spiky Spike Man. Definitely visually unique, which I appreciate. Even his weapon looks very unique with a little kind of under barrel thing here and multiple sights. Very cool. And again, the blade backpack, sure, why not? Let's see, then we got this guy here, who's actually, it seems quite taller. Like, yeah, there's definitely a different, like, this is a giant. I don't know if they're supposed to be that way or not, but definitely a different size. That is for sure, like 100%. This guy is really big. So the gun here, at least on the 3D print, looks to have kind of glossed over. It didn't quite print so good. And again, it's a prototype, but yeah, this is like really smooth and kind of Love the pointing. Always like it when the minis point. Again, there was a little bit of a gap there, and sometimes you gotta expect that to, just his arm to tighten in a little bit. Normally, the actual manufacturer will do that. So you'll send them this file, and then when they go to print it, they'll tuck in that arm a little bit because they know what they need to do to get that to print. You see the common backpack there as well, and the helmet actually is pretty common too. Let's see, we got two more here. And another small one. A cool little bladed guy. These guys are like a lot tinier. They got these big old blades. That's an awesome freaking looking blade too. I really dig that. Fingers on the base, but raised. Just be careful. A lot of times, especially if it's a single cast, just depends on what it is, but those fingers tend to blend in and melt into the base, and it looks really weird. They need a definite end point, where it's like, oh, those are your fingers and not the base. That's the key there. I don't even care so much about the raised part. I just want to make sure those fingers don't just smoothly go directly flat into the base. It looks weird. Unless he's like stargating into it. What a cool pose though. And he even survived me dropping him, which is props to him. Hopefully he doesn't survive that good in the game. Love all the spikes. I dig that on his arms, on his knees. Right, the knee ones are cool. Even like on his like face. Very cool looking guy. And then I think the main bad guy himself, this guy here, who's really cool because he's like this kind of orangish, reddish color, which I dig. Floating, has all these little kind of I don't know what they are, fabric stuff flowing around everywhere. Looks fantastic. Looks really cool. Looks kind of like noodles a little bit, and at least the resin they printed, not too bad. Pretty non-brittle, which I like. Okay, the fingers look great. Again, very hard to do unless you have a very good sculptor, so just keep that in mind. I like the little lock, at least on that one. That's kind of cool. It looks like there's one here too. Okay, I dig it. I like it. So you can see where that would lock up. Armor looks cool. I love that he's looking down. So he's floating up, looking down. His leg being slightly bent on this one and not on here. Very common kind of Superman-like thing where he tucks in one arm and puts one out. Or when they lift off, a lot of times they'll lift one leg up. Very common thing people do. So it's very cool that they did that. I like that a lot. Good luck painting in here. That's all I got to say on that. Okay, guys. Well, that is Earth Under Siege Flashpoint. Again, if you want to see this kind of detailed review. I'll be doing that here as soon as I can. Let me get some game time in it, and I'll let you guys know. And if you have any questions, let me know. And again, there is that link to the fundraiser down below. If you were ever thinking of donating to the channel to help out next year to be even bigger and better than ever, now's the time to do it, just because you do get some pretty cool rewards. So, all right, with that out of the way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you guys again really, really soon.